What's going on, guys? Michael with MMA Island. We're bringing you guys the fight picks. I'm here with Zach. We got a good one in the lightweight division. Nasrat Haqparast getting his comeback, I guess you could say, against the undefeated 6-0 Alex Munoz. I'm going to start talking about this one. Talking about Nasrat, looking at his last fight, getting knocked out here by Drew Dober. I'm looking at that, and as I've said multiple times, what that shows me in a way is vulnerability. And looking at Alex Munoz, when you're undefeated, there's no sign of vulnerability. Looking at it from a basic standpoint, that's what I'm saying. I am going to take Alex Munoz, the underdog in this one, for a couple reasons. I'm looking at Alex Munoz's ability. From what I've seen, this dude is able to bring fights, and he's got a very high fight IQ, and it's weird looking at him being 6-0. From the fights that I've watched with him, this dude is able to strike. This dude's able to bring the fight to the ground. He hasn't really fought the toughest competition. He only has 2 fights in the past, 4 years? But looking at Nasrat's coming off a loss here. Just looking at who he's beat, you can't really put any big names out there.
Casey.
Then Mark Takase, yeah, as you mentioned, Mark Takase here. That's really about it. And I guess you can't really say the same with Alex Munoz. But really what I'm taking here, I'm kind of just taking a shot with this one. I just really like the fight IQ of Alex Munoz, and I don't think he's going to be finished by Nasrat. And as we know, Nasrat, he's 11-3, 9 of his wins coming by KO. I really think that Munoz is an underrated striker here. I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Munoz, which no one in his 6-fight career has been able to. Kind of, as I mentioned, kind of taking a shot with this one. We don't know too much about Alex Munoz, but from what I've seen, albeit against lower-ranked opponents, I really don't think that there's much you can point out that Alex Munoz has done bad, because he hasn't really had those fights. He has 1 split decision back in 2016. And in his last 2 fights, he's got 2 decisions in a row. That's what leads me to bring this fight to decision. The UFC calculator agrees. I'll pass it on to it in just a second. I just want to talk about Nasrat here. Nasrat obviously has 11 wins, 9 of them by KO, as I mentioned. But 2 of his last 3 wins come by decision. So what I'm kind of seeing here is when you look at a fighter who has KO, and then when he gets to that higher ranking, which was the UFC fighting Mark Takase, and Thibault Gouti, am I missing the pronunciation there? Some crazy guy that I'm just totally missed out about. He's 12-5.
Tebow.
There we go. Tebow. So yeah, him. Nasrat fought him, and taking both those guys to decision. So what I was mentioning about the KO decision is when you get to that higher ranking and you're kind of not finishing guys as much as you were, part of me wants to say, did we overvalue these fighters? And I don't think that Nasrat's really that fighter that we overvalued in a way. I just think that he's not going to be able to get KOs as easily as he has in the early fights in his career. And then passing it on to Alex Munoz, who has never been finished. I just think this one's going to be going to Munoz. It's very, very close. And then, yeah, also on the UFC calculator, it's close. It's at a 51.4% chance for Munoz to get the win here. 66.5% chance by decision. I'm going to have to agree with it. I do think this one's very, very close. When I'm making my case, I'm not so much slandering Haqparast. I don't think he's the worst fighter in the world. This dude is a beast. We've seen him be a beast. I've watched his fights. This dude's young. This dude has a lot of knockouts, and I think he could win this fight. I think it's very, very close. So does the calculator. Kind of just valuing Munoz a little bit more here, and I'll pass it on to Zach. I'm sure you probably disagree with me, and we're gonna get our first disagreement of the night.
Spoiler alert, yeah, I disagree, but let me explain myself a little bit. So Alex Munoz, the guy who was signed off the Hawaii episode of Looking for a Fight, if I'm not mistaken, Team Alpha Male product. What do we know about Alex Munoz? He's decent at striking, but really what his best aspect is his wrestling game. That's his best aspect to his MMA career. And we don't know much about him. He has 6 fights. And okay, Nasrat Haqparast at one time was this big prospect in the lightweight division before getting knocked out by Drew Dober. Wait, Drew Dober? That guy's really good. That guy's on a run right now. That guy's in the rankings. Okay, maybe you can discount that a little bit. Maybe you can discount that as a little too big of a push, because I think it was, because Drew Dober is on that run right now. He is streaking. And what I've seen from Nasrat Haqparast is, yeah, no, he hasn't been able to, have his finishing ways that he had on the regional scene, but god damn, has he impressed me. He has really good striking volume. He throws out a lot of shots, and he has a very good strike differential because he is up there with some, at least statistics wise. Statistic wise, he has some of the best striking defense in UFC history. He does not get hit a lot at all. So this means one thing to me. This means that Alex Munoz has only one path to victory, and that's through a boring ground game decision. He can either get a ground and pound, or he can just lay on top of him the whole fight, throwing shots here and there. That's the only way he can win. I see a lot of more paths to victory with Nasrat Haqparast, because Alex Munoz can't stand on the feet. He's never faced the amount of volume that Nasrat Haqparast will bring, and he has never thrown at a guy who can defend strikes as well as Nasrat Haqparast. Oh, and another thing, Nasrat has very good takedown defense. Very, very good takedown defense. He's defended takedowns from everyone in his UFC career besides his first fight, Marcin Held, which leads to his percentage being a very respectable 78%. That's really good. I think a lot of people, not really because he's the favorite in this fight, but a lot of people who are picking Munoz, I think, are a little too unfairly judging him from his last fight, because that's Drew Dober, man. He's hella good. But anyways, I do think that he's the much more technically skilled fighter in almost every aspect besides wrestling and besides the other aspects of the ground game. So I'm going to go Nasrat Haqparast. He's just going to piece him up on the feet to a decision, in my opinion, but I would not be surprised to see him Munoz get knocked down in the second round.
All right, so we got our first disagreement of the night. I want to know what you guys think. You know what this means when we're 1-1. You guys got to break the tie. So let us know in the comments. And don't be a pansy. Half of you guys in the comments, I'm telling you, most of you guys are picking the favorites on every fight. You got to take a chance every now and then. I'm definitely taking a chance here. Not so much of a for sure one for me. So I'm going with Alex Munoz. He's going Nasrat Haqparast. I want to know what you guys think. We want to know your feedback. So make sure you guys are leaving in the comments and letting us know what you guys think. This is a fight where it's if you're going with the guy who hasn't shown the vulnerability, you could make some money because these guys are underdogs. So like I said before, we want to know what you guys think. So make sure you guys are letting us know in the comments, and make sure you guys also check out the other Fight Pick videos.